All right, Andy, I just gave you an awesome introduction. Everyone is dying to hear from you. I'm so thankful and grateful that you're here on the show with us today. And I know you have a really powerful story and incredibly powerful skincare line that I've been a huge fan of, and I can't wait to get into it. So thank you so much for being here today.
Well, likewise, thank you for having me. I love podcasts are what built the brand. I love sharing what we're about. So thank you for the opportunity.
And obviously, you're a guy, I'm a girl. Let me tell you, women love to share when something works. And we love to share skincare, especially skincare, clothing, whatever it is. We're just these natural sharers. And I love to find products that I just fall in love with and then I'm able to share with people, and it's just our nature. It is our nature to share. And so I'm excited to bring you on, and I'd love to start because so many of my listeners were all, on this quest for purpose, for a meaningful life and doing work that we love and that we're meant to do. And so you have this incredible skincare line, Alatura Naturals. We're going to talk about that. But you didn't start there. That's not what you said, someday I'm going to grow up and start a skincare line, right? Like that's not kind of what happened. If you could share with the listeners how this all came about. I know it's a pretty powerful journey that you went on.
Yeah, yeah. So I'd secretly been into skincare as a guy. You hide it, but find something that makes you look good. You kind of want to stay, consistent with that routine, and it involves skincare products. But that's another story that started. The genesis of that was in college, where I had bad cystic acne. I was growing into my body, using the wrong products, eating dorm food, high sugar, pizza, cheeseburgers, and then also experimenting with supplements. I was an athlete. I went to UC Berkeley on a baseball scholarship, and man, how much of a hard time your teammates can give you with little things when that they know are, make you insecure. It's just an app.
Oh, so I was just telling you. So my son Jack plays football in college. So I know it's a very different.
Nice. Oh, he gets it.
He
It's just
gets
part
it.
of the banter, and you got to wear it. But I never gave it. It was, but those how it makes you feel. You look to find solutions. On an off day, I went down Shattuck Avenue, went into this herbalist store, and just long story made short, this gentleman broke down the importance of cleaning your blood and the ancient Chinese philosophy of like vitality with herbs, Hoshu Wu, Gynostemma. I found out about silica horsetail extract. I bought my first supplement at 18, silica horsetail extract. But that was like the start of just learning about what you need, what products are you using. I was just telling him, Clearasil, Neutrogena, and he's like, no, no, no. I went down to Dove, which had 5 ingredients. Two of them were coconut derived. I remember that coconut signaled to my brain that it was more natural than the 50 to 70 ingredients on the products that I was using. So I still was using Pert Plus, but from head to toe, the Dove bar soap cleaned that up. And I started eating a little bit healthier too. So that, I mean, it's the best feeling in the world. I'm sure just if you have a little thing that's bugging you to kind of find a solution, but I stayed consistent with just clean skincare products. And my teammates gave me a hard time. I even bought the little Dove night cream that had CoQ10 and I think rosehip extracts. Back then, it like signaled something to me at 18 years
Yeah.
old. And just so that's where it began. And then I learned about clays. And then so I had this pre-existing mask that I would use every Sunday night. I was in the entertainment industry in Los Angeles. So before a week of auditions, I had roommates at the time. I'd go in and like apply it and then run into my bath or my room and then let it dry. I'm sure they knew about it. It was under the sink, but I just didn't want to talk about it and just kind of, it was my thing. And I just kept it to myself. But the, what I didn't expect happening was March 20, 2011, when I was just at, the height of growing as an actor and model. I was hit and run over by two cars. I was crossing Melrose, got hit by a westbound heading Land Rover, hit into the eastbound lane, run over by a Tundra. Both cars pulled over, got my clothes cut off me in the middle of the street, and was coming in and out of consciousness and woke up in Cedars-Sinai ICU with a compound fracture of my jaw, 7 broken ribs, a collapsed lung, and just unrecognizable on a morphine drip, trying to figure out what happened. And I quickly found out the severity of the accident. And But I parents came down. I mean, I remember my mom walking in, but it was tough, but I was alive though. Like I didn't, my knees, my ankles, my shoulders. I was thinking about that. Yeah, I was unrecognizable. That was hard, but it wasn't as hard as you would think it would be. I just started looking. Luckily, I had that perspective of just thinking about circulation, how I was going to build my system back. Cause I was just I lost my zest, with
And I'm
antibiotics.
sure you must have been probably also at kind of just this prime of like life and this energy. Like how old were you? Do you mind me asking when
Yeah.
that happened?
So I was 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was such a big catalyst for me because I was making my way in the entertainment industry, but still, grinding on, weekend, nighttime jobs it's just part of the business. You need that sustainable income to back yourself up when you're not booking jobs and stuff. And that was put everything just kind of stopped and we isolated and we went, all right, it was all about recovery but I'm like, for a couple weeks. And then my family left. It was beautiful. We're all in one 660 square foot apartment to get my sisters and my brother and my niece and parents. Like it's very rare because they have their families for holidays. We very rarely are all in one setting. So the love felt and the appreciation for being alive, like that's people don't survive those accidents. I remember I had a nurse who was a former Marine, and he's like, "Hey, just want to tell you, man, anytime you can leave the hospital and walk out, it's a pretty good day, right?" He's like, "Best
Yeah.
of luck in your recovery." And I'm like,
Wow.
I mean, that getting chills right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so true though. And I'm just grateful that I had that perspective and could walk, I couldn't chew. I was about to say that. That was the biggest thing is I lost my front three teeth and my jaw was wired shut. So like when you're in a
Wow.
moment to smile, I mitigated that. That's a real interesting thing that, you know, mentally I had. Wow. But I got the teeth bonded in and you build yourself back. And I'm glad I went through that. It's important to feel just to reach a bottom and build yourself back up and rise and prove yourself right. And I think it's very important in life to go through those things. But it led to so much like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. I'm sure you probably have answered this question before in the past, but like, and you're going to obviously talk to us now about kind of like what started to happen for you as after this, tragic accident. But as I love your attitude about it, what do you think if that didn't happen? What trajectory were you on? Like trying to, to make it in the entertainment industry, have you ever like kind of thought about that a little bit sometimes?
I, mm, I think about it, but it's always like an instant, like, whoa, you know,
Yeah.
so grateful. But let's really dive into that. I had momentum going and I was represented by the bigger agencies in LA. So, but it's such, you're waiting for the phone to ring. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. Not that and I loved it, but it's a different feeling, working under something. But to have your own purpose, to be able to create something that affects others, how they feel about themselves, I would not trade this for a 15-year major league career. That's the
Ooh,
biggest way I can explain this.
yeah.
And it's true because I'd be I'd be performing, it'd be exhilarating, sure, but a lot of stress. I mean, I get to create and I get
Yeah.
love. I get love. I get to solve problems from people that have it's so fun. I
I
love.
love it. It's why I wanted to have you on the podcast because I first heard you on Dr. Tina's show. 'Cause I'm a huge Dr. Tina fan. And again, women, we share and then we do whatever each other tells us to do. If we trust the other person, we're like, oh, that's the skincare you use. Okay, great. I'm going to use it. And so I bought like the entire line, listening to that. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go give this a shot. But what hit me when I was listening to you is how passionate you are about what you do. And it's amazing. I do feel like God, universe, source, is there to guide us into making sure that we're on the right path for the biggest, not just the biggest impact we can have with our life, but also that makes us feel so flipping alive in the work that we do. I spent 20 years at IBM as an executive. I was a vice president of marketing. My audience knows this. and I was miserable. I had reached the top that I could at a Fortune 50 company, and I was miserable. And I made the big, huge, bold decision to leave 8 years ago. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done. I have never felt more alive in my life. And so when I heard you, I was like, yes, he is so lit up by his purpose and his mission and what he's doing. And I love the skincare. I'm like, I got to have you on to share that story. And I could feel it in you. Like you love what you're doing. And again, listen, as entrepreneurs, we know there are ups and downs and there's hard and there's all the things. But if you wake up in the morning and you love what you get to do that day, like that is the biggest gift that I don't think most people on this planet experience. Would you
Mhm.
agree?
Yes, I do. And that's why it's so, I remember a conversation with a friend of mine when I was on the fence of like doing the acting and entertainment industry. And she's like, I didn't like the words, but she was right. She's like, take that leap. Because I was into health and wellness. Was it going to be like personal trainer, writing up diet plans like that? That is something that I just exhaled and I did for free. But like, pay attention to the things that excite you, that light you up, that you do just mindlessly, that help others, if you can wrap that all up into a bow. But it's possible. I just, because living in your purpose and I'm beyond, that's the, number one thing that I'm grateful for. I just would love, everyone to be able to experience that. That's why I mean, who am I to give advice, but just pay attention to the things that excite you, that, people point out that you're really good at or something. Like sometimes we forget about the things
Yeah.
may be part of that purpose that we should
I like
explore.
to say like that kind of like your the cells in your body perk up and start to vibrate. It's like just thinking back to you being 18 and going into the herbal, shop or whatever, like there was a reason, like there's something in you that was interested, right? And it's like these breadcrumbs, these clues along the way that, we don't necessarily always see, but it's usually something that's pretty different than maybe everyone else, right? Which clearly you were experiencing by hiding the stuff under the sink. So the other guys couldn't see it. So tell us about how kind of Alitur came about after you're recovering from this incredible, accident. What happened? Like kind of how take us from there to developing this incredible skincare line.
So I had a pre-existing mask that had 3 clays in it. I think I had kelp powder at that point. So I had like this remedy to heal. I couldn't afford the creams and serums that the doctors were recommending to heal the scarring. And I didn't trust them anyway, ingredient wise. Even back then, I was, after that 18-year-old experience, I really got into it. So every year it got better with different brands, Evan Healy, um, Aubrey Organics, and different smaller brands that I was really interested in ingredients and cleanliness of products. And the people that stood out and didn't have impurities or some type of toxic preservative or unnecessary filler, I would do research on that back then. It was just a little thing that it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
But I would start experimenting because I was going to heal naturally there was this product, Ancient Egyptian Magic, but I reverse engineered that. It was basically 5 ingredients. It was olive oil, beeswax, honey, royal jelly, I think propolis. And so I ordered all those as raw components and mixed it. I added cacao butter, sea buckthorn oil. I called Crota Labs. I got little samples of plant-derived stem cells. Mixed them in on the water side. That's when I found out and learned about that. But I had this chunky paste that just felt good. It was the first one, and I lost it in the move here. It was still good. What, 13 years, 12 years later, but which is interesting. But just researching, creating, melting things down, and then just you kind of. I went around town with my jaw wired shut and met with Ron. Well, I didn't meet with him personally, but I went to Dragon Herbs and went with one of the tonic associates and just kind of, I didn't know them, but I was explaining my situation. They gave me like beautiful breadcrumbs as far as ingredients. Then I ordered, I went to Air One Tonic Bar, Sage Calkins, Crosby, uh, Truth Calkins, Sage Dammers, and Crosby Taylor were these, like, they were just making tonics, but they were also helping me with ingredients. And I isolated several: Shizandra, Gynostemma, Ashwagandha, Hoshu Wu, Spirulina, Shaga Reishi, basically all the ingredients that's in our supplement revitalized. And I made a morning tonic to regenerate my system. And I started experimenting with some of those ingredients. I mean, it turned into like a 20 or 30 ingredient, but it was a way to get my nutrition and build my blood back and build my system back. And I started to feel incredible. But some of those ingredients, and a lot of them didn't work, but if they're so good internally, why not experiment and throw them into that pre-existing mass that I was using? That's where we got colostrum, vitamin C, American ginseng. And yeah, so it's just, if it's so good internally, just trying it. Particle size, like I said, a lot of things didn't work, but the final 9 that we got for not only Revitalize, but also Clay Mask is that's how it built. But just, it took about a year and a half too, because it was never intended to be anything. People saw me in the ICU where I was literally unrecognizable. Jaw was out to here. The abrasions were gone within about a month. The scarring was obviously
Wow.
still there. The swelling had gone down. And I was so, to get to look like yourself and to get your zest
Yeah.
back, you that felt really good. And it was only because of these two things. So I was excited about it. So the same people, Christina Rodriguez invited me over to her house because I was just geeking out on this clay mask because she was giving me that like legit double take of like, what are you doing? What? And I went, I'm like, using this clay mask. She's like, I want to try it. So I went over there, little bamboo bowl backpack, apple cider vinegar. I think I had lavender oil, and she was with a couple friends, obviously a little nervous. And I got like, I got way too deep into explaining because I want them to feel exactly. And I knew it was a little earthy. I could deal with the smell. That's where I cut down the kelp powder. I literally divided it in two after that because I wasn't throwing it together, but it wasn't as precise as where it should have been. So, and they would tell their friends they loved it, but it was a little earthy. That was it. They're like, oh my God, it smells horrible. But like I just need it. And they would like do it at night. They all had their own little remedies. They loved it. And so it became like this little thing of this clay mask where I would do before nighttime jobs, just like rolling around to people I didn't even know. But I would ask like if they would take a picture and just kind of give me feedback. And sometimes they would allow me to post it. But it was like this, I was showing on social media, and that's back before the algorithm. So everybody saw what you were posting. So people, I was just like getting my energy back. Hey, I'm all right.
So literally truly organic, like, from your heart, just you figuring out something for yourself and then literally sharing that with others is how this really all got
Oh,
going.
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then so I was getting back. I booked a job. I think when I got no, I still had the wires in. I booked a job in San Diego, and that was a big victory because I wanted to get back into the entertainment industry and work again. People said I never would, and I just, I never thought skincare was ever going to be a thing, but it was fun because it was something that I created and people liked, and that was just it. Never charged anything, never even thought it would be a product. But I was back, and I reached out to Dave Asprey because I started drinking bulletproof coffee. I never drank coffee before. That thing turned me into like a Ferrari Testarossa in the morning of motivation and just energy to go work out and get better. So I want to thank him. So I troubleshooted his email address. The contact form was like info@bulletproofexec back then. His name's Dave Asprey, D.Asprey, Dave.Asprey, David, Dave at, 10 different combinations, copy pasted the same email with a picture of me in the ICU. And then like, Men's Health Magazine, be like, dude, you got me back. Thank you. One of those went through. His EA got back to me and they brought me on board as an ambassador. So I was getting the products for free and just kind of like taking a picture with the mask and going, hey, doing my thing. It was fun. It was a victory because I could barely afford the products in the first place. And it was just fun. And then I guess Bulletproof was paying attention to my story a little bit more. And we talked, and then they invited me on his podcast, February 1st, 2014, which was so fun. Like, I love Dave. I would
Totally.
hit him on Twitter and Instagram, just hoping for a like I idolized him. And I really loved his attention to detail with purity of ingredients, like obsessive, like single heirloom cacao pods, shade grown high elevation. Like, I love that detail of cleanliness and like potency of ingredients. And that's what I'm all like. If we use something, I want to see a difference, you know? And that's, I mean, the clay mask that you definitely get that. And that's why I
It's
recommend doing it.
amazing. And I as you're going through, I will share just my own experience. Well, since we're talking about the clay mask, it's like I use the meteorite, right? I'm not the best. I always remember the names of everything, but I use the exfoliating is
Meteorite
meteorite, right?
scrub, the
Yeah.
meteorite
Oh,
scrub.
it's so good, right? So that, and then I put the clay mask on. And I can't, like just that. I mean, I use the entire line, But just that, I mean, I heard you say on a podcast about healing, and to me, my skin, it just feels younger, like it reversed or
It
something.
it breathes differently. You're doing the system. Like that is the system.
Hmm.
I use a meteorite scrub to rinse it off.
Yes.
Try that one out, see which one you prefer. But like, because you get a light, well, not no, you get a good exfoliation from the clay mask, but there's still some crumbles to hit that
Yeah.
freshly exfoliated skin with that mandelic acid and the collection of bamboo stem cells. Like it just invigorates the skin. So I love that you gotta see some difference. I want blood flow. I want circulation. I want dewy. It just, and it takes density. It takes ingredients that are rich and, they're going to be there, potency, the CoQ10, you know what I mean? Like the medicine in plants, the bitterness and
That's it. I feel like that. So, I've been on a whole kick, with like, I feel like I've been training for 50, around 46, 47. I was like, you know what? I'm turning 50 in a few years. I want to make sure that I am like where I want to be health wise, all the things. Actually, that's when I let my silver hair grow out. Like I was like, no, I want by the time I enter 50, I just had this vision for myself, And so I turned 50 a couple weeks ago, and such a focus on being clean and the health. And what I love about what you do with Elator Naturals is that, just like you said when you were recovering, if I'm putting it in my body to help my body from the inside out, why wouldn't I put it on my skin to see what can happen? And that's the difference. Like if there was something I could like say briefly of why I feel like it's so different than anything else I've tried. And listen, I'm a woman that's 50 years old. I've tried a lot of skincare lines. A lot of them, right? And mostly all clean ones for the last 10 years. I have to say, the thing that I feel like is so different is I do feel like I am feeding my skin. I feel like there's a medicinal aspect to it. It feels like I'm actually treating my skin like I'm treating the inside of my body in terms of what I'm putting on it. I can feel the difference versus kind of like I feel like almost every skincare line has the same stuff, just like
Mhm.
different combinations of all the same ingredients. And I think this is it's so unique. I really haven't seen anything else out there like it. And I can feel the difference. I felt the difference the first time I used the meteorite scrub and then the clay mask the first time. 1 week into using the whole system with the gold serum, which I'm obsessed with. And I love everything. I heard an esthetician said to me once, if you're going to use a line, use the entire line because they're meant to like work together and all the things. And so I've always done that. If I'm going to go all in, I go all in on one line. So I use the whole thing. And the night cream, like I could go on and on about all the pieces, but the gold serum is incredible. The night cream, like that's like the last thing I put on at night before I go to lay down in bed. And I feel like I have baby skin. Like I
Yeah.
can't, it's so good. It's so different than anything I've ever tried. So just well done on that.
Thank you. It's with intention. You have a chance with your ingredient deck to point like it, and it matters so much to me. It's got to be like an album. A lot of ingredients I wanted in there, but they didn't make the cut. That the formula, I mean, these products it took 22 tweaks to make the moisturizer. That's 21 phone calls. It should be 5, 10. We knew what we wanted. It was so awkward. It was my first liquid product. I didn't want to offend them, but I knew just a collection of, I mean, bee products, bee propolis, royal jelly, honey, beeswax, antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal. It's got to have medicine. It's not a filler. It's healing. Especially the source that we get it from, there's magic to it. They're still finding out how molecularly complex and enzyme rich bee products are. So that is the base. Then you get to add in, it's exciting. You add in cacao butter, aloe vera, sea buckthorn, carrot seed, calendula, ylang ylang. It's good dense oils that serve a purpose. They're expensive. So you see, they're not commonly located in, you've seen other brands, adding plant oils, lemongrass, sweet almond, wheat germ. No, the creative outlet is finding what other people haven't heard of yet. Andiroba, Prakashi, Buriti. Like there are government studies on this that I found out afterwards that are good. Prakashi, 7 out of 10 saw scar reversal, like intense scar reversal. Like that was heaven sent. Like, how did I know? Anyway, so I'm gonna follow that and pay attention to that because I'm being led to certain medicinal ingredients that are so healing and rich for the skin that and there's so much more out there that we
It's
haven't
so,
found.
well, I'm
So that's
excited. I'm excited to keep seeing, as you go. I mean, that's probably a really great, next question is kind of what's the vision that you have for your company, your brand, the products? Like talk to us about what you see, where you see all of this going. I mean, you have a phenomenal success but where do you see it all going?
Oh, well, I want to open up Alituras worldwide, Latin America, Middle East, UAE, Europe, just our offering in complete authenticity. This is what, in the, because our ingredient, I mean, thousands of ingredients that they allow in the United States aren't allowed in EU, and it's fun. We're going through the process right now. Like it's just, hey, how are you? I mean, in getting our products, regulated, and so we're going through that system. I mean, the goal is to just open up our offering worldwide. I mean, we're a small but mighty team. It's all right. I'll do this till I can't. I mean, I just, and the fun is just meeting different cultures and sharing. Alatur is Latin for feeding and nourishing. I have a deep
Oh,
love for Latin America as well. So I just feel this is my offering and this is my truth. And let the customer decide. A lot of it's, I mean, I just, we're a little different with our ingredient decks. I don't understand why other companies won't. I guess bigger companies, you have a lot of overhead and everything is profit. I'm in creation mode. This is my dream. Like it's exciting to me. We crunch numbers at the end of the, I mean, it's just the truth. I
you're
mean,
leading. That's why I wanted to have you on this. You're mission driven, and here the other thing I want to just share with the listeners because I think it's so important. Often we want to have all the I's dotted, all the T's crossed. We want to know how it's all going to play out, how it's all going to, doesn't work like that, right? Everything you just shared, right, on your journey was you tested something, you're trying, it grows into the next. It's this process of creation, not process of planning ahead of time and having it all figured out. It just doesn't work like that. And so I love that that's your attitude and focus because that I think as an entrepreneur, any successful entrepreneur, you have to be okay with this trial and error process of creation and following that inner guidance system that is like you even said it's even guiding you at the ingredient level. I love that, right? Like you kind of know you're like, ooh, what's that? I got to go check this out or that out. And it's just this, you're pulling it together. And that's when you know you're in your zone, and everything else, it falls into place when you're pursuing that passion. You're showing that so beautifully for people.
thank you. Well, I mean, it's people like yourself that are giving me an opportunity too, because it's not, we didn't just roll out an entire buttoned up line like formulation teams. It's truly taking the profit and then creating the moisturizer and then combining that, creating the night cream and just each of those 6 years on my meteorite scrub had the formula done 4 years on the formula, then took 2 years on a delay trying to get this bamboo packaging because I wanted a tube. We found a source in Brazil, but there were trace elements of plastic and I couldn't do it. So for 2 years we were trying to construct that. And then we just went back to mirror on glass. But that I can't, I'm obsessed with this, but it's a good thing because the final
We all
result.
get to benefit. I mean, we all get to benefit from you being obsessed with it being right. Like just so that everyone understands, like the packaging is amazing. And with, as you can tell with everything with Andy, with intention,
Yeah.
both from a health standpoint and it's actually beautiful too, by the way. I like to have whatever skincare line I'm using, and now I'm like going to be forever Alatura. I like to have all the bottles on my shelf above my sink, and I like just the feel and the look. And I think what I love about it is that men and women it's not like, it can go either way with it. It's just so beautiful, on like it's neutral, in a sense. It's gorgeous black with some gold or the white. It's just really, all of how intentional you've been about every aspect, you can tell. And I love that.
Hey, that means a lot to me because I obsess about that. And a lot of companies do rebrands. I don't think I want to. I mean, the logo, everything. I went to 3 different graphic designers, a tattoo artist. I was trying to get, I'm like, guys, no, it's Alatura. They're giving me block letters. Like, who do you want to look like? Like, I think they gave me a couple other big brands. I'm like, no, no, no. So finally, I got a stack of white papers. We had a deadline to hit a Sharpie. And I love, like, I've always, like, I thought I was going to be a baseball player. So I've been obsessed with my signature since I was a little kid. But so calligraphy is important, but I nailed that Alatura. It's like symbolic of me signing off on the product. And I love how it looks too. Like,
I
so
didn't know
here,
that part. I didn't know that you signed it.
oh yeah, that's my signature and the
Oh,
A2. I even have like revisions, all that. Like it took forever. That one, no, 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 that one wasn't it. That has like the swoosh with the tribute to Phil Knight from Nike. I'm a weirdo, but like everything is important. Everything is important.
everything. Oh, now when I go wash my face tonight, I'm gonna look and I'm gonna like have a whole new appreciation for that's awesome. I
Well,
love
but look at the box too. It's my mom's. My mom wrote "Hey, honey, I'm going to Whole Foods. Love, mom." And I went screenshot that. I got it tattooed on me, and I went because and it's the only tattoo she likes. But I got that on every box. That's her signature. And then my
that.
dad's birthday in Roman numerals. It's on, and then it's on the side of the box. Check it out. I just every yeah. So
I well, I love that you just shared that. Actually, I have my tattoos are all on the inside of my arms, and I just had my 3 children each draw hearts with their in their own way. My one son spent forever on his until he got it perfect. And I'm a big into elephants, so I'm getting an elephant, and then their 3 hearts that they drew is like my next one. So I think that's so special. Hopefully they'll want something that maybe my signature someday. We'll see. That's really beautiful, really special. That's
that's
cool.
That is special. It's giving
Yeah,
me
it's so
ideas. It's
cute.
the dream. Mom won't do it. My dad is thinking about it. I'd love to get a tattoo with him, something symbolic. Do anyway.
Yeah, it's cool. I love that kind of stuff. Well, so okay, so the vision, going national, going international, going into other markets, which I think is huge because I know our students, clients, they're all over the world. So I already know some of our clients are going to really would love to, or some of our listeners would love to, experience Electro Naturals. Hopefully they will soon.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
amazing. What else? It's you're 90 years old, 95 years old. You're looking back. What's important to you? What else in addition? Because again, we can probably live and breathe our entrepreneurial passions and what we do, but what's success look like for you at the end?
Squeezing the most out of what we've been given. Like I've had the opportunity to be like a high level athlete, been on stage, working with an actor that I grew up idolizing, like having a business that never. So I'm just literally going to keep. There's something there that's uh, extremely. I feel like I have a big purpose to do as much as I can in this world. So like just to stay the course. I recently got sober. I'm over 21 months sober from alcohol. That was a big speed bump for me to get over. So now I feel like I'm limitless with energy, definitely energy, and I don't have any shame. Really, it's interesting. That's a whole other thing. But so it's like I got a second chance. So like the first 40, I got sober when I was 40. So and then now it's like I get a new start and complete clarity to do as much as I can. But it comes down to interest and also helping others, encouraging others. Would love to be some type of mentor, a baseball coach. Ideally, there's not a baseball team around here, and that's seriously an issue because I want to. Just somebody believed in me when I was 15. His name's Stu Peterson, and said he's an ex-major leaguer. My world stopped. I worked as hard as I could after you wouldn't believe it. But I believe that the youth needs to hear that encouragement from someone. I want to because it's authentic. You can read it on me. I'm not going to BS but I also understand the importance of positivity, encouraging. That's what I want to do. And then so like if the next 45 years are encouraging as many, but tastefully though, like being real about it, I just want people to find their purpose, but without being like that big,
I know.
motivation. I
Well, you
just
know
want
what it is? You know, it's so funny. Like I'm a big a studier of human design and the gene keys, and this whole concept that we're moving away from that guru authority on stage trying to tell you, right? It's more that we have the inner authority in us already. It
Yeah.
already exists,
Yeah.
but we need to be around others that help to pull it out of us, you know? And so I think that we're going to see that shift and change, that it is going to be those individual people that we connect with that help us find our own inner authority and connect with that purpose. I think what makes me so sad, Andy, is that like I light up when I listen to you talk because of how much you love what you do. I say TGIM instead of TGIF because I love what I get to do now, where I spent 20 years not doing what I loved. And unfortunately, there are just so many people that are stuck thinking, living what other people expect of them in jobs, doing work that they don't love, and they feel trapped and they feel stuck. And I think, you know, the story that you shared is so inspiring because we do want it to, like, we want to figure out the purpose, we want to nail it, and then we want it to just like happen. But it is a process and it's one step at a time and it's allowing it to unfold. And you really did. I mean, from the clay mask for yourself, or just genuinely sharing with individuals that you knew over time, it played out. And so, any last words you'd share with that woman listening that's like, I know there's something in me, I'm not sure what it is, but I want to feel like Andy feels. You know, I want to feel passionate about what I'm here to do. What would you tell her?
It goes back to the things that you love to do, and also being curious with trying new things. Now I'm into gardening. Never would have thought that. Are you kidding me? But in like hike, but it brings me so much joy. Like I came back after a week and I saw my tree. It like brought tears to my eyes, and I was worried because I hadn't been watering it. Well, it thrived because maybe I'd been over watering it, whatever. And it's just this big bushy tree. Just that, I mean, the fact that we're breathing and on this earth and alive and hopefully healthy and working towards our optimal happiness, just getting outside, being active, finding new hobbies, and then paying attention to the things that excite you, working towards them. Creative outlet is everything. Creating is everything for me. And just, we all have it inside. I love that you pointed that out because I believe everybody's got something. I believe everyone has a big gift. And that's a thing that just, you can encourage that. You can point out things that people are doing that are awesome and go, man, that's sick. But it's true. In that deep connection, there's a vibration that happens with that. And just tastefully encourage, point out artwork, do it everywhere you go. Point out nice thing, maybe they have an artistic thing that they put on earrings that day that then they go back and go, well, wait a minute. Oh, that's somebody noticed that. It's the little things that add up. I don't know if that all makes
It
sense.
makes total sense to me. 100%. It's these little things we can't see because they're second nature to us. So when they get appreciated or seen by someone else, you go, wait, doesn't everyone just do this? You know, you don't see it. So I love that. I think that that's amazing. You're amazing. I am
Oh,
so thankful to have found you. I'm excited to be a lifelong customer and also cheering you on, you know, every step of the way as well. And I know my audience is just going to be doing the same. They're going to go check you out. What's the best? Obviously, we're going to put all the links to everything, to your Instagram, to the website. We've got a 15% off code for all of our listeners here, Ignite 15. Any other place that they can go check? I guess the website, we'll put that below too.
well, first, I want to say thank you for what you just said. That's really sweet. It means a lot to me. And I'm very grateful to be on your show. And it's so nice to meet you. So I just want to say that. And then, yeah, at alitura.com, alitura.com, Alitura Naturals on Instagram. I'm definitely in the messages as much as I can be. I love, yeah, just, I'm, we're a smaller team, but we're here on a mission, to just continue to spread the word on clean skincare. It's something you're rubbing onto your body daily. Just you want it to be clean, and we want you to be healthy and happy and live a long life. And so it's just I love what I do. If you have any questions, you can always reach out. And yeah, thank you for
Oh,
having me.
thank you so much for being here. You're amazing.